All In, baby, is finally
Woo!
here. What is up, everybody? It is your guys, Dynamite Download, Mind Runner, and SPD on Saturday night. It is right for fighting. And man, I'm pumped up because tomorrow is finally here, All In, and this is it, man. This is the Super Bowl of AEW, man. We are
Yes.
pumped. Sorry for the little bit of delay, but thank you for joining us here on Saturday night post Collision. Had to kind of let that settle for a little bit, and then boom, we are locked and loaded. I think unless we got any swerves per se, I think that card is locked and loaded for All In. I did send you that picture because as I was watching Collision, noticed that other 0 hour match getting added, that 10-man tag match. So we'll add that to our bingo cards. We'll post it on our social media. You'll send us the pics before that 0 hours that are finalized. Tonight, we're going to be talking all things All In, all things AEW, making some hot takes. We're going to welcome some of our favorite buddies from the Dynamite Club Gold and coming in here. We're going to have some special guests and we're going to have some fun. And this is it. I mean, leading up to All In, this is like, man, I'm pumped, man. As I said on Dynamite Download, on Thursday, I was like, this card is just stacked to the brim. It is like I'm pouring in the cup and it's overflowing of excitement for me, man. On a 1 to 10, how excited are you for this card right now?
I'm turning it up to 11 at this point. I'm call me Mr. Mark. I think Cardiff shows.
It's okay to be a Mark.
I'm all call me Marky Markinson. I'm Marky Mark with the Funky Bunch. The Cardiff show, the crowds at the Cardiff show shows because it was all Cardiff, but it was unbelievable.
England.
I'm still geeking out over Big Bill, Big Beal, Large Williams pop was so over. And I think part of it is they were trying to react to him telling them to shut up and they just were loved. And if you told me again, even a year, like 2 years ago or even a year ago, that I would be cheering for Jeff Jarrett and that an entire stadium would be
in at AEW.
I would have called you crazy. I would have called you a liar. That was fantastic to see. I was so happy. And you could tell he was eating it up. He was just basking in the whole thing. And Jeff Jarrett was loving it. Yep. And
bask in his glory.
And of course, the best pop on Collision tonight. You're a bastard, my bastard. He's a bastard. Yes, he is.
He's a bastard.
He's a bastard. He's a bastard. Man. Yes, he is. That pop for Pac was just incredible.
I'm so happy. I mean, this may not be the Wembley moment per se that he's looking for, but he's going to get that love from the crowd. He's going to get that love from us AEW strong. And it's interesting because that pairing, while we all know who we would want to see him partnered up with, it's just interesting the pairing of that because of the feud that they had together in Claudio and Pac recently. Enemy of my enemy is my friend or whatever it may be leading up to this. I think that the Collision match, I'm happy he's getting this moment. I think that team is just kind of, thrown together for what it may be just to be on the card, sadly. But I think it'll be still an awesome, fun match to have them added to that 4-way ladder match, London ladder match.
Yes. And there was a hint. Well, I want to talk about that in a second. But before, my only disappointment is Pac is not in the gauntlet. And I was thinking that's where I wanted him so that I think putting Pac into the whole thing would have been tremendous, but he still gets to get his match. He gets to get his Wembley moment, if you will. A thought occurred to me tonight, and of course, this is Mind Runner's overbooking. Wheeler Yuta should get injured, and now they have to get a replacement to join their team. Then all of a sudden, Wild Thing plays.
Wow. Interesting. Well, they could have that if they were going to go that route, which I do think that's a very clever route to do that. I did not actually think about that at all. they should have played into that tonight. I think that would have been the best thing, because then it leaves that door open and like, who's going to be their partner? Like, could it be could be anybody. And so I think that would have been a really cool way to swing that, even though Wheeler just came back from some injuries. But we still could get that Wild Thing moment in the gauntlet, but you never know, man. You never know with that.
Never know.
That being said, man, let's talk All In. Let's welcome in one of. What do we want to do? We
gotta take a look at going into All In.
All right.
As of tonight, as of Collision, we'll bring him in though.
Let's bring him in.
For copyright reasons, I can't play his song. I got to come up with a new entrance. But modern day Mark, he's today's Tom Sawyer. He's going to be he's the Thunder Army General tonight. Da-da-da-da.
What's up, Brent?
What's up, guys?
I see that drum fill. How you doing?
He's a regular Neil Peart, this one.
That's me. What's up, guys?
You see me representing tonight. I'm representing the Mission Pro Wrestling Cup right here.
I'm representing the Hilton Hotel that I'm in right now.
The Hilton. Hey, you got to represent. Yeah, you got to give.
What is this? What is these flowers on the? I literally just like got into my room, pulled out the computer, got the stream going, and we're ready to roll. I didn't even unpack or anything. So
I want to hear Brent's scale 1 to 10. How you feeling about All In, dude?
Oh, dude, 10, man.
I think what did you think? What did you think of the Cardiff crowd?
Oh my gosh, nuts, right? Like you were talking about, I was like, are they booing Hook? Like, right. You know, like I'm like, what's going on?
They were rabid for Bill. They were rabid for big large William there. It was insane.
That was honestly, I have not seen something like that in such a long time. And I loved it, man. Bring a pay-per-view to Cardiff, because they were hot for 4 hours of wrestling. I mean, 4 straight hours. This overseas crowd, I mean, us here on the mainland, we need to step up our game in some of these crowds, because
they even made the Norfolk crowd look bad.
But honestly, those international crowds take it to another level. I know they're not getting spoiled of getting the live shows every single week. You know, it's once or twice or 3 times a year. So they're really, you know, saving their vocals per se. But man, I think like for them to hijack that match the way they did, and especially with that crowd being so pumped for Big Bill, and he literally was telling them to F off and the middle finger and, you know, giving them whatever he could. And they're just feeding into it more and more and more. It was so great. It was so great. And to me, it just like diminished any momentum Hook has. It diminished any Hook compared to Big Bill looked like a jobber physically. Just looking at him, it's just, I think it was a bad booking, unfortunately, because I mean, I get trying to like slay the giant per se mentality of Hook, but I think you almost have to, it's hard to pivot because you're leading up to pay-per-view, but that would have been a key moment to have a pivot there, because man, even Dax tweeted out how saying Big Bill's a star, other support out there. And like, it was really cool to see. Really cool.
Brent, I'm curious of the Dynamite and Collision Rampage. What's your number one moment out of all of that?
Oh man. Geez. I mean, it might have been that moment right there. And you know what else was weird? Like, not weird, but Jeff Jarrett got huge pop.
Yes.
Like crazy. I thought that was pretty cool for him. I would say, you know what I really liked about Collision tonight, and I could probably go with Dynamite the same way. They really did a good job, like, telling us the stories beforehand. You know what I mean? I think they're really learning on how to not just throw matches in there, but like to build up, and like especially this week beforehand, we really got a feel of like the excitement of how big these matches are going to be, and with the promos, with the story packages, I think they let a lot of things breathe. So I think AEW like really hit it home this whole week.
I agree. It felt like to me these last 2 weeks were like 2 weeks of a go home show.
Yeah,
we had a little bit of a
100%.
go. We had part 1 in the States, part 2 here. We're definitely gonna dive into it, but it's like I just feel comfortable that the three of us. I think the three of us can really offer our insights. We don't need anybody else joining us. We certainly don't need anybody.
That would be pretty sweet.
It's the Queen.
Hey!
What's up?
Let's swerve. We swerve.
We swerve
when we drive. We swerve when we drop. Oh. I got it. In fact, I got to still work on.
Thanks for joining us.
Dynamite Club Gold. I got to work on their Dynamite Club Gold theme song that doesn't get hit for copyright. So we'll work on that. Courtney, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Freaking awesome.
Great.
Same question we asked Brent.
Great.
Scale of 1 to 10. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling like a 20.
SPD, do you have a suggestion for our theme song?
Oh yes, I love that team, and it was awesome. Tonight's show was on fire. Like, it was really enjoyable. Of course, for the first half, I was watching the race because y'all know I love my racing. But
that's all right. That's all right.
Balance it.
Then I saw 2 matches that were amazing. I got to see the latter half of the show, and it was fire and great. And I was texting my runner, and I said, "When did so and so get back?"
Oh, Leo Rush, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, "When did Leo come back?" Because last time I saw he was fired. So, but welcome back, Leo Rush. We're excited to have you back. And seeing the greatest bastard in the world.
The bastard, yeah.
The bastard Pop is back. I'm excited.
He's a bastard. He's a bastard. Yes, he is.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
After listening to this Cardiff crowd, I think Wembley and London have really high bar set for crowd reactions, and I'm really excited because correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the local talent is very well represented this year compared to last year. And so, I mean, imagine, as you mentioned on Dynamite Download Mindrunner, if Ospreay kicks off the show, just the way that people are going to crap their pants and literally blow their lid. And then you have Pac later on. You got Mariah May, and then a possibility of or the women's match, and then you have a possibility of Hayter returning too. And it's like, wow. I mean, and then of course everybody loves Danielson. Yes, FTD. Everyone loves Danielson. Everyone loves Danielson. So it'd be a happy.
Everybody loves Danielson.
That's right. Exactly.
Everybody? Are you sure?
I don't think. I think there's somebody in this house that doesn't. But.
But anyways, I mean, this is like, man, I'm so pumped. So I got like a 7-ish hour drive. I'm going to get my butt up early crack of dawn so I can get to where I need to go to be live on the stream, to watch this live, because I want to be glued to that once we go live for probably what's going to be, what do you think, a 5-hour show?
Yeah, I think at least a 5-hour show, depending.
I mean, 9 matches on the main card isn't too bad, all things considered. Oh. And, you're going to let some cook for sure. But overall, we have this is the card. I mean, it's not updated with the other trios that won down there, but you're looking at this card, and I mean, top to bottom, especially after what we saw with this Hook match on Collision and Big Bill, this kind of got me like second guessing a couple things, and I'm really interested on this. I feel like, so we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every match is a title match. I just realized that, or a title match guarantee. So that's pretty cool. I don't remember a pay-per-view where every single match had gold on the line. Very impressive. How many? So that being said, eight titles, whether they be officially recognized or not, on the line. Brent, what do you think? Out of 8, how many are going to change hands without giving us your picks?
I actually only I'm gonna say 3.
Okay, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
I'm gonna
Courtney,
say 5.
what about you?
Oh, go ahead, Courtney.
I'm gonna say 4. Woo!
4?
Woo! Woo!
Woo!
4 horsemen.
Woo!
Yes.
I'm going 5. I think
right.
there's going to be 5. I think there's
let's throw up one of the you want to talk about the rankings before we dive in and talk about where this kind of lays out? We're talking 3 titles, 4 and 5. So that's, a quite diverse card picks right there.
We're talking about another title too, is who's going to be Le Champion of our draft.
You're right.
Bam! Look, as of tonight, these are the rankings. Jeez. We have, of course, King Brian himself, the king of Mission Pro.
Gosh.
56 points. He had an incredible Rampage and Collision. In fact, it was between him and Bobby, I think, that were just sweeping the last couple things. Of course, Orange Cassidy is helping him. But he had Orange Cassidy, Willow, Shibata, Hook, Claudio, Roderick Strong on Rampage got a win. But you got to look at Bobby. Bobby with a significant jump, 41. He is now just behind Full Tilt Deb. Full Tilt Deb, of course, 48 in great position. I mean, I hate to say it, but if there's anybody that can really snipe Brian, I would say just Full Tilt Deb, but anything can happen, and Bobby could be the one. Also, SPD and I are tied at 36.
I thought I had 36 last time. I totally forgot what I had. I'll have to double check.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'll double check it. But
not that it's gonna. I think we are way out of reach. But it's the battle of the OGs right there. You and me, Mind Runner.
I got that. And then Courtney 32 is still in it as well. Anything can happen. And Brent is, for the love of the game. He's got this.
Leftover taker this year.
Leftover taker, but you know what? You're a good sport, and anything could happen. So we still have 56. All out. Whew. It's gonna be crazy.
Looking at that. All right, let's start it in. So, with our guests, okay, Courtney, how about we start with you? What match, an all-in, you want to discuss first and make some predictions?
Well,
then we'll go with you, Brent, after that.
What I saw at the end of Collision.
Okay.
Let's start off with some fire ladder match trios. Action.
Okay, the ladder. Oh, the London ladder match.
Yes.
So we'll kick us up. Like, what do you feel? What is going to be your prediction on this one? A nice edit there, Mind.
Yeah, total
Great job.
Professional Photoshop, by the way.
Put an asterisk, not official AEW graphic.
You know what? Hang on. I gotta take this off. We need to do share screen so that I can move the things. But go ahead. While I'm loading this up.
Who's your pick and tell us why?
All right. Well, obviously, I went with the House Always Wins because they really need a win. It would mean so much to the House of Black, even though I know some members have just gotten off an entry list. I'm going with House of Black.
Interesting.
Going with the House of Black. So that's Courtney for House of Black.
Yep.
There we go. All right.
Brent, what about you, man?
I'm going with the Patriarchy. I think they're gonna retain.
Yeah.
You think the Patriarchy's gonna keep it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is an interesting one because this is one that I might have to make my final decision tomorrow as I sleep on it. I really think that I'm with you on that, Brent. Like, I feel like there's so much more meat on the bones with Christian Cage being this obnoxious champion when he's holding all the belts. However, I'm also with you, Courtney. I feel like House of Black is at this stage where, like, chapter 2 of their trios run and it would be so much more exciting than a patriarchy, in my opinion, because they would be like true fighting champions, and there's no one like them in AEW. There's no one like them, that trios in wrestling, like at right now, and it makes them so much more compelling to watch for that. So as of today, though, I'm gonna go with Brent and do the patriarchy. This is one I might be flip-flopping, but sadly, I just don't see the Bullet Club Gold getting their gold back at the moment. So as of now, my pick is the patriarchy.
All right. Now, I also have a special message from Brian from Mission Pro, the former Leftover Taker, and his official claim in this match is he's going with the Blackpool Combat Club and Pac.
Okay.
Very interesting. That's it. That was his choice. Full Tilt Deb is going with Full Tilt Deb, trios, ladder. You said Bang Bang Gang? No, House of Black. She's going with Courtney on House of Black.
Woo!
And I gotta go with Courtney as well. I think it's time. The house always wins. I think it's time for the House of Black to start their second run. And of course, we've got Bobby in the chat. Bobby, he's going with
patriarchy too.
Patriarchy. So quite a battle. Nobody going Bang Bang Gang. That's
unfortunate. It's just like, I love them. I do. I mean, we all love them. Guns up all the way. And I think it would be fun for them to be in the chase again, because it seems like they're transitioning back to a more true babyface type of team, even though they work so good heel. So yeah, this one's all over the map right here. It's interesting. Okay, I'm curious to see how we're going next. Brent, what match you want to talk about next?
Let's talk about the Mercedes Moné DMD match.
All right. What are your thoughts on this match and your favorite wrestler, Dr. Britt Baker? I know you're such a big fan of hers.
King Thunder Rosa.
What are you thinking, Brett?
I think I'm going to go with Mercedes. She can't lose the belt yet. So it's probably going to be a really good match. And a lot of people, I think, are thinking maybe, Jamie Hayter is going to come down and help the DMD, but I don't know. I heard there's some rift between them two. So I don't know. I think Hayter's going to show up, but she might not show up here.
What if Hayter, we talked about this, I think, last night. What if Hayter joins
hot take
Mercedes and Camille and turns on Britt? That would be amazing.
I mean, I always wanted to see that matchup between. I mean, I thought that's what they were gunning for back. With I thought they were going to break up Hayter and DMD and face each other, and that might have been the plans before she got hurt. So who knows?
I still stand by with my choice as well. I'm going with the CEO at this point. I think the time will come where the DMD dethrones the CEO, but right now is not the time. But I do hope, and as we know, you can never always believe everything you see, but I do hope that we do get a DMD Hayter reunion for now, and then go from there and see how that plans out.
Bobby in the chat says Mercedes Moné retains. So we'll go ahead and put Bobby over here as well.
Yep.
Courtney, what are you thinking?
Let's see. My money's on money.
All right, look at this. Money. All right, and Brian has officially said Mercedes as well.
Oh, I'm shocked. He didn't say DMD.
No, yeah, you're really shocked, aren't you?
Hey, he's got her on his team.
Yeah, I was going to say that he does have her.
Yeah.
See, that makes it a win-win. If Britt wins, then he gets a point. But if Britt loses, he gets, he's closer to locking his bingo card. Full tilt Deb, Mercedes or Britt? All right, Mercedes. And is this a unanimous?
This one, unfortunately, I feel like they've built this really, really good, in my opinion, but it's hard to see a title change right now. Mm-hmm. If this was, let's say, at Revolution, after some meat on it and a little bit length of Mercedes title run, then I think we would be more split. But right now, I feel like this is one of the more locks of the night.
Well, maybe just for tonight, I might change it, but maybe
just
I'll go
tonight?
with Britt. Yeah, but I'll go with Britt. How about that? Just for tonight.
No, all right, you do
only for the sake of me covering up. Now, in all reality, my official thing is I'm Mercedes as well. I think we're all on the same page here. Monet.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about. I'm looking for mine. You pick a match, then I got one.
All right, let's go ahead and go with the coffin drop. Let's go with the coffin match here between Darby and the Scapegoat. And out the gate here, I don't think I think this is actually designed to continue to build up Jack Perry for this badass that he's become. They've successfully made him a great, legit heel threat. I think that this is going to be actually for Jack Perry to defeat Darby in a Darby-style match. I think the kudos is for him. I think it's going to be Jack Perry. I do think there's a possibility, though, that when Jack Perry goes to open the coffin, there might be a stinger inside waiting for him. But that remains to be seen because rumors are Sting is in London. So be on the lookout for that. But I'm going with the Scapegoat.
This would be, having Sting appear from the coffin would be absolutely incredible. I think that would be such a huge all-in moment for him after we haven't seen him for how many months out of wrestling. However, I 100% agree with you, Mind. I think if you're going to continue to develop a star and a character shift with Perry, you have to book him with the W here and beating him at, as you mentioned, at the Darby special match where he's been undefeated in. So it's one of those things. It's like, I'm looking big picture. Like if Darby wins the TNT title here and goes on, he has a championship match in less than a month at Grand, whatever it's called.
Grand Ole Opry. Yeah.
Yeah. Grand Ole Opry. He's got one there in September in New York. So he's got the Grand Slam title match. So for him to have the TNT title match and have a world title match, which is fine. I feel like this would do so much more for Perry to win than for Darby to win right now. Even though Darby to me is one of the best TNT champions. And when he's had the belt, been that such a fighting champ. So my pick is Perry, and it's a tough one, but it's because there's that coffin match stipulation.
By the way, Steven, cry us a river. Real glass. All right. It's a good question. I bet there will be some real glass.
Probably will. It's Darby.
Courtney, what about you? Where are you going?
Well, I think we're all on the same page again, which is shocking. Yes, I'm here to shock the world.
Okay,
I'm here
shock
to show
master.
The world. I'm here to show the
I'm going with Jungle Boy / Jack Perry the Man.
I'm actually surprised that we haven't started doing those chants to aggravate him. To start doing the whoa, the hand.
That's the thing. It's like because he's developed his character so well, the fans are not, they don't want that. Like they're happy with the transition. Think about if you watch WWE when Bray Wyatt debuted, there was Husky Harris chants. They were confused. There was not, they weren't necessarily ready for that. And so look what he did with Bray Wyatt. And one of the most incredible characters ever in all of wrestling. Just incredible, incredible, incredible. And so when Jack Perry came back as this heel, I feel like fans were all in with it, no pun intended, and excited about it. And so I'm glad they weren't, because it's almost like they're not buying it, but he's been doing great. As you mentioned on our last episode 2 nights ago, just how the dinosaur fuel and all that.
The fossil fuel?
The fossil fuel. Brent, what about you, brother?
That's a good call with the stinger in the casket there, Mind Runner. Which is funny. I've seen pictures of Sting's son. He's in London.
Yes, I saw that too.
Yeah, so that kind of makes some sense, but which would be awesome pop. But I still kind of agree with all you guys. With Jack Perry making that belt, like they're not going to have him lose it right away, too.
Yeah, that's a sick belt too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so really, really cool. So I think they need to have him run with that belt for a while. I think he's doing a great job, and Darby can take the loss. Like you said, SPD, he's got that title match coming up, which I don't know. I hear he might be the next champ.
That would be interesting. I
would welcome it. If you asked me that 6-8 months ago, I would be like, no. But now I've, as I mentioned last episode too, like I'm definitely on the Darby train. And I think he would carry himself and the title really well, and it'd be fun to have this underdog every match, as we saw a little taste when he had that TNT title run, defending it every single week. So I'm ready for it. Are you muted? Oh,
FTW. Actually, FTW, FTR, FTD.
FTR
loves. I was shouting. I guess I'll just keep it unmuted when I shout to the other room.
Oh, okay, I got
Full Tilt Deb is agreeing with all of us. She said Jungle Boy is going to win it, which of course Jack Perry. But I can't believe it. We're not unanimous.
What?
I don't know. And again, I don't think this guy is abusing any of his inside information, but he seems to be thinking Darby is going to walk away with the TNT title.
Here's the thing, like a hot take for this, like what if the coffin opens up and it's like Jungle Boy's gear, like Jungle Boy is officially dead?
That would be dope.
Or
it's Griff Grifferson dressed as Jungle Boy.
It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be like a Jungle Boy dummy, but it has to. What if it was like it's like tassel stuff and all that and whatever it was?
No, y'all are missing it. I'm the overbooker here. There's only one choice to show up in the coffin. Marco freaking Stunt. Gosh,
you are so obsessed with Marco Stunt.
It's awesome.
Marco
Stunt is the best. Yes, Steven. Agree. Mini dinosaur Marco Stunt. Yes, absolutely.
Take that off.
I am in 1,000% agreement. That is the way to go. I'm totally booking that. Let's do it. Tony Khan, mini dinosaur Marco Stunt. 1,000%. Love it.
All right, next match. Spray.
Dun, 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 dun.
Do I need to say more?
Where'd he go?
As much as I've enjoyed this Captain America aspect of MJF, and I would welcome a longer run of it, I still have not flip-flopped from my stance of my hot takes and the way this could pan out over the next few weeks or months. But you have to. This would be one of the more marquee moments of the night to have Ospreay win. And so I feel like it does so much better for thinking as a fan and as a, pro to promote the product, like that you have to have Ospreay win this match. I think it just would make so much more sense. Yes, it would get MJF lethal heel in lethal heat. However, at what is it worth it though? Like, would you rather have the fans have this memory forever? Like you can have these memories, these core memories. I think they talked about in their promo about memories and feelings and facts. And so you would have these fans leave with that feeling of Ospreay winning that title back and from MJF, Public Enemy #1. And so, of course, I mean, as he's on Team SPD too, so it's a double 2-for-1 on that.
Interesting. And then Bobby in the chat is saying Will Ospreay as well. I'm going on for Smoke Ospreay. Okay, and Full Tilt Deb is saying Ospreay.
Wow,
interesting take in the chat though. I gotta put Steven Chambers got a feeling Fletcher and Gallus screws over Ospreay, MJF retains. Now that's interesting because although I think my overbooking senses, like my spidey senses, I think you're half right. I think Callis is going to get involved, but I think he's going to force Fletcher to try to do something, and Fletcher's going to say no. Do we see Mark Davis show up, and now Aussie Open reunites? And do we see a returning powerhouse to come out and do some things?
There's so many different options that you're speaking of, and as the one we discussed on our show of the Daniel Garcia preventing MJF from using the Dynamite download ring. So you have so many things. Like, I would love a clean match. I mean, that 60-minute match was a perfect, great, clean match, minus the ending with the ring, but no interference or, no major stuff like that. When you start to get all that kind of mumble jumbled throughout, it can kind of take away from the shine of the match at times. But if it's done right, it can do so much, like something subtle as Garcia coming in to prevent MJF's taking the ring off his finger, and then as we discussed on our show. But if you bring out Callis and Fletcher and others and all that, like
extra,
it can get a little bit muddy per se. But yes, I would love to have the momentum is definitely high on Fletcher right now. So I can't see him staying to the dark side after what we've been seeing him go through. So if Powerhouse is ready to return, and Takesha's back to ready to return to AEW television, and Roosh, you have that trio with Don Callis. Boom, that's great stuff.
And I agree. And I also think the story is that Ospreay is going to use the Tiger Driver
have to
91, and that's how he's going to win.
Yeah,
I think that's how we do it. That's how we do it. Brent, what do you think?
Let's make London great again.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty much in agreement with all you guys, what you said there. Yeah, definitely. Tiger Driver. I mean, like Bryan Danielson gave him the okay to use it, so
do it.
Yeah, that blessing he gave him on Dynamite pretty much is just the seal of approval is so great. I think that was such a great idea that they had to do that backstage.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was like the Emperor. Do it, Skywalker. Do it.
Do it now.
Do it now. Court, what about you?
As much as I love our scumbag, I'm going on the Bruv train to victory.
Bruv train.
Is this going to be another clean sweep?
Well, again, we do have Mr. Inside Information, and he seems to think that we're all correct. He's going Ospreay as well.
All right. That is 2 clean sweeps. That means 1 title change here. This is our first agreement on a complete title change on that. So back around the horn, Courtney, what is the match you want to talk about?
Well, since we have Timeless Tony, Mariah May, let's talk about the women's wrestling, shall we?
Absolutely.
Match on the card, by the way. And I would like to see this a co-main eventer. If it's not, that's a missed opportunity. as much as I love Miss Timeless, it's time for a change, Timeless. Mariah May is winning.
Interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think there's still meat on the bone for this feud?
It's a little meat, but I want to say a returning hater comes in this match because you couldn't hate her because we miss her.
I see what you did there, Cord.
It's funny you said that because, mine, as we were talking on Dynamite Download, how I was like, Britt should have thrown some, little hints. And so she should have said something like, the DMD hits harder, because she always hater hits harder. Like that little slogan would have been like a little cue, and I think it would have popped the crowd a lot.
I think you're right if hater's going to show up for Britt, but like mentioned earlier, you guys were talking about how there may be some hater, there may be a rift between hater and DMD. Maybe she's.
I haven't heard any of that, so enlighten me.
Well, Brent and I were seeing this. That Brent, you were seeing some of the buzz on in the backstage that MJF is not the latest person to have some beef. That maybe Jamie Hayter might also not be getting along with Britt. Is that what you're thinking, Brent?
Yeah, I read that, and it could be just a rumor, but I've heard it a couple times from a couple really good sources that there's some kind of like rift between the two. So, who knows if it's true or not,
Yeah. Well, Brent, go ahead, Courtney. Go ahead.
I heard the same thing. I know the situation with Thunder, and then supposedly what I heard was that DMD went and said not so nice things to haters, so that had caused a rift between the two.
I can see that happening too. Brent, are you with Courtney on this?
Yes, I am. Yeah, I think. But what was I going to say that Courtney had mentioned? Oh, I can't remember for sure, but did Tony Storm beat Hayter for the belt? Is that who Hayter lost the belt to?
I believe so.
It was that really quick match.
Because she was wrestling injured.
Yeah. Yep. So maybe she comes back for revenge. That's the only thing I could think of if she's going to show up maybe and cost her the match. But I think I think the story is not going to end. I think they're going to have something else crazy go on with this. I don't think this is I think they'll probably wrestle again.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the last of it. Maybe, I'm building off of what Bobby just said. I have my overbooking senses say Mariah May wins. Mina Shirakawa joins Mariah May, and who comes out to take Tony's side? Jamie Hayter.
That sounds good.
And that builds up a tag match for All Out. That's my overbooking. But then at that tag match, Jamie Hayter then turns on Tony, or not turns, but then turns to Tony and says, I will be your partner if you guarantee me a title shot when you win it back, or something. I don't know, or something like that. Steven says, of course, Luther. Yeah, we forgot about Luther. Luther's the X Factor. How about you, SPD?
So my pick is May. But so much has been invested in this build. So much is invested in her with this turn and the video packages and all that. And it's very fitting. And Storm has had one heck of a title run, one of the best women's title runs in AEW. I was looking at her match card right here. So she beat Jamie Hayter May 28th, 2023, a Double or Nothing. She had tons of defenses. She lost it to Sheeta for a while, and then Saraya won it, and then she won it back. Let's see, in November. So she's been the champ since November, and so this has been quite the run. She's had some awesome backstage promo. She's really went up and down through the roster. I mean, you name a women's wrestler and she's beaten them with her title run. So now's the time to refresh that and revamp it. And that's you revamp the top women's title, and then you revamp the top men's title too after All In. I mean, it's fitting, in my opinion.
Changing of the guard. More titles changing hands than Battle of the Belts, of course.
And may I add, congratulations to Mina. She won the British Global Women's Championship this week.
That was awesome. Mina, the world wants Mina. We want Mina.
We want Mina. We want
Hey, Full Tilt Deb. Yeah. Tony Storm or Mariah May? Mariah May. All right, Mariah May. Very good. Are we going to have another unanimous? Well, guess what, folks?
Probably not.
We're not.
Wow.
Surprisingly, Mr. Inside Info is going Tony Storm.
Interesting.
On this one. That Tony Storm retains. And, I don't know if that's some inside information, if he's thinking like a booker. The chat is definitely wants Mina, so I think we're going to see Mina Shirakawa in some form at All Out. I think that's definitely going to happen.
Right.
Absolutely. But there we go. The dissenter. And he went from the leftover taker to the dissenter. Mr. Inside Info dissenter here with Tony Storm. Very, very interesting.
All right, Brent, what match you want to talk about next? Both women's are taken on the main card.
Let's talk about the Hook Jericho match.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
It's the leaning tree.
The leaning tree, yeah.
The leaning tree. It's the redwood tree, man. That again, I'm still geeking out about how over Big Bill was during that. That was insane. That was the loudest.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Loved it. It's really cool to see that.
And I love that.
What is your pick, man?
Brent, where are you going with this one?
Yeah, you know what? I think Hook's going to take the belt back, and maybe, hopefully, they get rid of it.
I was hoping they do that when Jericho won it, but Jericho made it really hilarious.
Yeah. Though it would be cool if I'm thinking, do you think Jericho is going to get cheered like Big Bill did?
I mean, Fozzy is performing with his entrance. Does that mean we're getting Judas back or what? So
I don't know. Oh, if he came out as Judas instead of the learning tree, sorry, Hook.
Right.
All right. Steven says Jericho retains with a lot of interference. Okay. I do think we'll see.
How do you think this going to pan out?
Well, I think we're going to see Bad Apple, and I think we're going to see the big Redwood, and I think you're right. I think Jericho, a lot of stuff is going to come out, but I think ultimately Hook is going to prevail, and I think it's going to be, and I think this is one of those things where it is time to maybe put the FTW belt to rest, or just let it be the accessory, but not necessarily a belt that's defended. But I do think that Hook is going to win. They're going to finish this story. But we may find a new member of the learning tree show up, or we may something's going to happen. I would have loved to see Jericho change the front of the FTW title and put his face on it, like his smiling little face on there. But I don't know. It's weird because do you think that Tony might pivot based on the reaction that the learning tree's been getting in Cardiff? I don't know.
See, this is like. This is like between a rock and a hard place. Like, what benefit does this have for Hook to win? None.
Interesting.
In my opinion. I feel like Hook winning the belt again for the third time is absolutely nothing. I feel like this is just depreciating Hook completely. I'm going with the learning tree because I don't want to bet against my guy Jericho. And I feel like he can run with this belt and actually make it more interesting. Having Hook with this belt makes me have zero interest in this FCW belt. So there's a couple things like because of the FTW rules. Yes, you got the learning tree. You could also have a returning Samoa Joe. You can have Taz interfere. You have all these like crazy things happen. But to me, like the story to have Jericho continue with this belt at the moment makes so much more sense. Like Hook can pivot to whatever else, and it just I feel like especially after what happened on Collision, there's no there's no benefit to me at all. This match, sadly, it's one of those like I think my opinion, best case scenario is Jericho wins and it finally, washes the hands with the Hook Jericho feud.
Interesting taking. You said something earlier I liked where Jericho makes the belt mean something more. He did the same when he was the Ring of Honor champion, and he did that whole thing about how I'm going to defeat all the past Ring of Honor champions. We got to see Dalton Castle, and they start bringing out a lot of those guys. I do think that is true. I'm keeping my pick for now, but you make a very convincing argument. I'm not going to go against it. Real quick, Full Tilt Deb, Jericho or Hook? She says Hook. All righty. There we go.
It's hard to bet against Hook because he's a TK favorite. But like my personal booking, I want Jericho to win because it's funny to me.
I do like that. All right, Courtney, you're shaking your head.
Cause I want this man off my TV and retire for God's sake.
No.
I'm tired of the learning tree.
Dude, Jericho's got a 6-pack. and he's doing line salts and everything.
That's bro.
Courtney, you could do a lot to learn from the learning tree.
That's true.
Perhaps you should be under its branches.
Yeah. My pick is obviously my boy Hook. There will be shenanigans. I'm calling it right now. But remember, we could have Taz interfere. Could have Samoa Joe interfere. Or we could have an ROH guy interfere. Who knows?
There's a lot of ways that could go. Interesting. So we are a bit divided here. Bobby and SBD going Jericho. Could this be the difference maker on the bingo card? Perhaps.
Man, this is a tough one. It's a tough one. All right, mine. We got 3 matches to go. We got the tag match, the gauntlet match, and the main event.
I did also include the 2 0-hour matches.
We can, if we have time at the end for those ones.
Let's go gauntlet though, and this is the way I did the gauntlet.
That's
is it's
right.
I
like it.
Yep, it's our write-in for the gauntlet match winner.
So here's what I got to mention that as I was scrolling through the old Twitter, the only confirmed people in the match are Orange Cassidy, Hangman, Briscoe, O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong.
Okay.
And correct me if I'm wrong if you've seen anyone else before that. But also what I did see is that Tony Schiavone said the winner of the gauntlet match can cash in it at any time.
Ooh. So
people are throwing out this rumors and all this stuff of, let's say Hangman wins and cashes it in or whatever it may be. One of those Seth Rollins moments at WrestleMania, if you watched that when he cashed it in and won that same night and all that. So it's interesting. So I don't have a pick yet. So if someone wants to go.
Well,
but I want to preface that as we're it could add to people's decision on that.
I'm thinking too, because Hangman could then show up before the match is over and it become a 3-way for between Danielson, Hanger, and Swerve. I don't know. There's a lot that can go. I'll go ahead and go first though, because yes, I too have been going through the old Tweety Bird X, whatever we're calling it now. But I also noticed a certain Sean Ross Sapp, no crap, just Sapp. Even though he's got a sparky personality. He and also the Pro Wrestling Illustrated folks have confirmed. Oh, and I like Steven Chambers. He's saying it's thinking Adam Cole, but I don't think it's Adam Cole, baby. I am going with King Rico himself.
Okay.
Ricochet makes his debut at All In the Gauntlet match and wins it. And we're going to get to see, I don't think we ever had Daniel Bryan versus Ricochet in the Fed. So I think that might be an interesting way for Ricochet to get a match with Bryan Danielson before he retires. So I think we're going to see King Ricochet, King Rico is going to show up. Bobby, though, this is my other pick, is Bobby saying it's going to be Hanger. So we got.
It's one of those. It's like, how do you are you going to overbook it, overthink it? I'm overthinking this a lot because, like, Hangman, okay, yes, he had an amazing match with Danielson. Yes, he's got this crazy feud with Swerve and Vendetta. He's on with Swerve, and I feel like that's the direction he is ready to go. And he could bank this title match after he's done with Swerve, per se, or he can try to cash it in early on, whatever it may be, if he is the winner. So I'm still torn. I'm thinking about it, like the way it could go, because it's a crapshoot, because we only have so many people announced, and as we've seen this gauntlet match, and they said a lot of the stars are going to come out for this match, and it could end at any time. It's not a Royal Rumble where everyone gets out and then everyone has to be entered. This could end with the first two people. That's why that golden spot that our Orange Cassidy won, so he's spot number 1, which could be a blessing and a curse with that. So I mean, my heart's saying Hangman, just because I think he's a top guy and would deliver that. But, like, I'm also thinking whoever wins this match is not necessarily going to win the title. So I feel like who's going to be able to win this match and take a loss and still look good? If you have Adam Cole, that's interesting because his return, his long-awaited return, and then he gets fed a loss by someone, or whatever it may be. Ricochet could definitely afford a loss, being so fresh and in that title scene, proving he's a top guy, delivering an excellent match. I like that. So someone else can pick, but I'm still thinking.
That's interesting. Steven's leaning a little Ricky Starks too, because he's still Tony Khan made it very clear that Ricky's still currently signed to AEW. Right. And thinks highly of him. So wouldn't that be?
I would love if Lance Archer came in and won this match too.
I would love it, but I guarantee when it's y'all in Texas next year, we're going to get some Murder Hawk action. Yeah. Let's go, Brent. Where are you feeling? What's your thoughts?
Man, I've been thinking about this all day because I think that realistically Bryan Danielson's going to win the title, but I kept thinking that Hangman's going to win this, and then I'm thinking, well, if Hangman wins this, Swerve's going to win the title because we're going to get that match again. But, like, I like what you said about Hangman cashing in, but, like, because I didn't know that stipulation, so I'm thinking Hangman wins this, Bryan Danielson beats Swerve, Hangman comes out and beats Danielson, and we leave, with Hangman as champ.
Wow.
So I think, and then we'll get, I mean, it's so hard. There's so many different.
A crazy ending.
Because I don't think, I don't know. It's so rough. Because I'm going to go Hangman.
Like we watched at Mission Pro, the Fire and Fury won the cup and then cashed it in before the match was over for the tag titles, and they won. And they made it a 3-way right at the end. So, yeah, that could happen. But, going into All Out, you want Hangman to be do you think Hangman should be the champ defending it against somebody? I mean, now, here's the thing, though. The way you just said it, Bryan Danielson wins, doesn't retire, but then loses the title same night.
I would hate that.
Go on his temporary hiatus. Oh, that's Brent. That's
I don't like it, but I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
No, I think it would be crazy booking. I don't like it for Danielson's purposes because of the way he's at, contract wise and career wise. Like if this was like him in his prime, I think it would be a really cool way to book that. Man, it's hard not to go Hangman just because of the push per se he's been on and the anger he's been on. But honestly, like my choice is Hangman because I think it's just a safe bet at the moment. Because it's hard to pick someone who's not even involved in this match. It's fun to fantasy book that, but also someone like Roosh would be fun to win this match. Like it's been often where there's these stipulation matches and not necessarily a top guy has won the match. So someone like Roosh would be really cool to win, where it's like, okay, he's seen as the top guy, but he's not going to beat Danielson. So I would love to see like a heel like Roosh go against Danielson. Yeah, or Takeshita, or a Hobbs or whatever it may be. Like I would love someone like that to win. But given who's been announced, I'm going to say Hangman as a safe guess given those circumstances. But I would honestly personally prefer someone like that from the Don Callis family win.
All right, so you're going with Hangman?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's my little sidebar fantasy booking.
Before we go with Courtney, real quick, Full Tilt Deb, casino match, gauntlet match. Hangman? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. John Moxley.
Okay. John Moxley?
That's
Kenny Omega? All right. Kenny Omega.
Mox isn't a bad choice, though, too, like you said.
Courtney, what about you?
Well, see, this is so hard because we just got this news this week, so it's hard for me to choose, but I'm going to go with my mind booking, and the obvious choice is the dark horse, Hangman Page.
Oh, wow. A lot of Hangman Page.
Yes.
All right. So I'm on Ricochet. Make me proud. And of course, Brian went with Big Bill. Again, Mr. Inside Information, the dissenter there.
Mr. Mission Pro himself.
Yeah, Mr. Mission Pro.
Tag team match. A triple threat tag team match. 3 of the top teams in AEW right now. As we discussed on our show 2 nights ago, just the rise of the Acclaimed and kind of shaking away a lot of their goofiness per se that we've loved, the scissor me's and all that. It's still there. Oh, this was interesting right here. You see this one right there. The little goofiness of the tag titles are their gimmick, but still it's there, but not all the way gone. But the seriousness and Max Caster and Bowens just delivering some fire promos. The FTR being the workhorses week in and week out. The Young Bucks being the part-time EVPs that they are. This really, man, it could go. I could see this going so many different ways. This one, I feel like we can be all over the map. But if they're going to continue to do what I want them to do and continue to be just this over-the-top ridiculousness and abusing powers, I think the EVP's got to retain at this point. And I potentially think they could drop it at All Out, but at All In, I think like they need their win at Wembley because last year they did not get their win at Wembley.
Let's go to Courtney.
I'm picking my
You're
EVPs.
officially doing the EVPs, right? SPD?
EVPs, yes.
Yep. All right, Courtney, your thoughts.
My thoughts is my raps are better than Max Caster, so here we go. Although I like to scissor me, Daddy. Although the old Bucks are in the ring, I don't see them retaining. I'm going with the top guys, FTR.
FTR. There you go.
All right.
Bobby says the Bucks, the EVPs, must have paid Bobby off for this one. There you go. Full Tilt Deb.
Yeah.
Bucks, FTR, or Acclaimed?
Bucks.
All right, she's going Bucks. Also paid off, apparently.
We don't want to get fined here.
Yeah, we don't want to get fined.
We don't want to get no fines.
Before I make my pick, I want to hear from Brent.
I'm going with the Bucks.
Wow, look at this. All you marks. All you EVP marks, I swear. I'm going with Courtney. I think the top guys are going to walk out champions on this one.
Okay.
And, of course, Brian, the dissenter, is going with the Acclaimed. I'm noticing a pattern here, Brian.
The insider info guy.
Mr. Inside Info. He's really making it interesting for us. The insider. We'll see what happens here. Do we have time to do the real quick, just do a speed round for the 0 hour matches?
Sure.
Hey, did we go with the main event?
Not
we
yet.
haven't done the main event yet. I was just going to knock these out real quick and then talk main event to close, if that's cool. So speed round. Just tell us what I'll say your name. I'll call you and you just tell me where you're going. All right, for the this match, the 5-on-5. Brent, where are you going?
I'm going with the Rhodes crew.
All right, Courtney.
I'm gonna go with the War Dolls crew. Oh no, that's Brian Cage. I'll go with that group.
I wish
Brian
it was War
Cage's
Dog.
group. Okay.
Yeah.
To Leona. SPD.
The Rhodes.
All right. Full Tilt Deb, the Rhodes and the Shibata people, or Brian Cage, the Gates of the Kingdom of Agony United? All right. Bobby in the chat, where are you going? Dustin's team. All right, he's going with Dustin's team. Brian had not given me an answer, so I'm gonna put him over here because he's being the dissenter, and I'm gonna go with this team as well. Real quickly, let's go to Willow Tomohiro Ishii versus Statlander. I think Snacklander is going to win this one. How about you, Courtney?
The winner of this gets to pick the stipulation for All Out, too. So FYI on that.
Snacklander, please.
All right, Brent.
Give me some snacks.
Give you some snacks. Very good. SPD.
I'm going Willow.
Okay.
Okay.
Very cool. Very cool. And looks like the dissenter is going Willow as well. Bobby in the chat. Bobby says Willow as well. Well, we're going to. And Full Tilt Deb. Willow and Ishii or Snacklander and Stokely? Willow and Tommy. There we go. Boom. All right. So now.
He takes an L to freaking Stokely. I mean, that's just a.
No, I think Statlander pins Willow.
What was that?
The final countdown.
The final.
He is finally leaning into the yes movement, full throttle. Danielson versus Swerve. Whose house versus the yes movement? This is going to be one epic main event, and I cannot wait. The crowd is going to be so fired up. And might I add, the tiebreaker, per usual, is the length of this main event. So as we're looking at the card, as I'm writing things down, there are a lot of us are on the same page. There's a couple matches that are the key deciding factors, such as that Willow Statlander one. The tag match was kind of a little diverse one. The Hook Jericho one. Other than that, and the trios. So there's like about 4 or 5 matches overall that are going to be the real true deciding factor. But if there is a tiebreaker, we do have the time limit on this. But Swerve versus Danielson. I mean, I'll happily kick things off with my guy, Brian Danielson. Will not bet against him. His career is no, not over. It is just yes, all the way.
It pains me because if there's
this is
any
a
question,
win-win.
If there's any question how I feel about Swerve, this is the answer.
I know. Exactly. And
What?
I listened to the AEW preview show podcast. And it's one of those, like, as I mentioned earlier, between a rock and a hard place. Like, Swerve's reign has been fantastic. He's went through quite the gauntlet of competitors, and there's so much more that can be done. But this is the right move for Danielson to win.
Brent, you really threw me with that theory that if Hangman wins and cashes in afterwards, that's a great way to keep Bryan Danielson from losing to Swerve, but from retiring, but also then not having the belt going after tomorrow night. But I think Bryan's going to beat Swerve, and then we're going to see what happens. But this isn't over for Swerve at all. I think this might build to a Swerve versus Hanger match at All Out, but yeah, it pains me to do it, but I'm going Bryan Danielson. Full tilt dab, Danielson or Swerve?
Come on, give it to me.
She said Danielson, damn it.
She's a fan after all.
Oh,
she's a fan after all.
SPD says you're a fan after all. She cursed. All right, so
she's going to be doing the yes movement tomorrow night for the main event.
Yeah, with her middle finger.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yeah, Deb and Nigel are think very similarly about Danielson, so we'll just leave it at that. Let's see. Did we get Bobby's?
Yeah,
Bobby's is Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, meaning Court, Brent, and Brian.
All right, so we want Courtney and then Brent to finish it off.
All right. Well, as much as I love to swerve when I drive, but
there it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wins, but loses at All Out. I'm calling it right now.
Wow.
But Brian loses it All Out.
Yes,
Nice.
I think he'll have a nice two couple week reign, and then he'll lose it, and then he'll go behind the curtain. Unfortunately,
the best wrestler in the world is going to lose the world title in 2 weeks. Come on.
This is my wild brain over here booking my wild brain.
All right, Brent. Brent, the final countdown.
Bryan Danielson is on my top 3 favorite wrestlers of all time.
I'm with you, brother. On Mount Rushmore. I'm with you.
So I'm definitely going to go with, if it wasn't a career-ending match, I don't know if, I think that kind of gives it away. I don't think he's going to be completely done yet. So, yeah, I love Bryan Danielson. So he's winning.
So is this the only one we all? There's only this and
so
the championship matches we don't.
3 matches that we've agreed on. Yeah, the Osprey, MJF, and the Mercedes, and so 3 unanimous. 2 title changes and 1 retain. 3 unanimous ones. Wow. Those are 3 of the biggest matches on the card too.
That is.
Yeah.
Whew, that's some good stuff.
Really?
All right. All in tomorrow. Hopefully we all can tune in live, and we're going to have an awesome time watching this show. The card is absolutely stacked. As I mentioned here, I mean, this is just a little taste of the card here. We got those other two buy-in matches. We got to update that, but I'll officially post the Dynamite download bingo card where you can give us your time for the main event on our Twitter, and then we will be rocking and rolling. So what match, all of you, as we sign off for the end of the show, what match are you most looking forward to of all of them, Courtney?
Obviously, there's 2 matches that stick out in my mind. Obviously, the Swerve Daniel Bryanson or Brian Danielson, whatever he likes to call himself, Brady husband.
The GOAT. He likes to call himself the greatest of all time.
The Yes Man. I'm going to call him the Yes Man. And obviously the trios match is very
okay. All right, I like it. What about you, Brent?
Yeah, I'm gonna go the Brian Danielson swerve. I think you can't go wrong with that. It's gonna be. I mean, they're both great wrestlers. It's gonna be insane. I'm pretty pumped for it.
To me, this is like which is the best tasting Skittle. I mean, it's like they're all delicious.
Which one is?
I love tasting the rainbow. However, I think we're gonna get. I'm excited for the Darby, Jack Perry. I'm excited for Swerve. I'm excited for just to see Will Ospreay in action. But I think that the trios quadruple chaos. They teased
the London
tables, ladders,
match.
and chairs tonight. They brought it because if you saw, Christian was holding a chair. The Bang Bang Gang pulled out tables, and where were the House of Black? They were on a ladder. I think we're going to get shades of TLC, and I think we all may know this or may admit this, that I think the original thought was that it was going to be Death Triangle instead of BCC with Pac, but I think this is going to be like a table, ladders, and chairs from the old WWE days, and it's just going to be insane spots everywhere. My overbooking would be that Wheeler Yuta gets injured on the way to the arena and they have to bring in Moxley. But other than that, yeah, I think the trios match is what I'm most looking forward to.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see Ospreay win just because of the crowd and what's in store for them. And the main event, that's sure. It's man, this card is epic. I'm pumped.
Swerve when we drive, we swerve when we drive.
Well, you guys, great preview show. Love talking to you all. It's been fun. We'll get those bingo cards. It makes me even more dialed into the show, knowing like, oh, I'm 1 for 1, 1 for 2, whatever it may be. Got that 3+3 bonus points in store for us. So we're ready for it. Thank you, Courtney and Brett, for joining us on our all-in preview show, and everyone in the chat. It was a lot of fun. And buckle up, folks, for a great pay-per-view tomorrow for All In. And we'll see you on Thursday for Dynamite Download. For our next episode, we're going to talk some All In as well as a lot at stake. We'll probably start getting the road to All Out and a lot more. So have a great night, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Peace out. Woo!